when you're making that list for the type of man that you want, ask yourself, am I this list? That's the accountability I'm talking about. That's why I say leave the people, them boy children alone if you know you are not that list.
Okay, so we put on a timer.
We got timer for this one for sure.
45 minutes or an hour, which one? Because it's women.
45 minutes, Kenita, I can't.
Women, you know, we are a little more intense.
Kenita, then we would need 4 hours.
Okay.
Or 24 hours.
We just go and touch the surface?
Yes.
And then kind of go down a little bit.
We can't even categorize women. You see, like how we do maniku, and hanky-panky, aka mama's boy.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do that for women. Women real transformer-ish. To have octagon, sphere, triangle, circle.
There's bumblebee.
Sailor Moon. So we'll just put her in situations.
Okay,
right?
okay. I like that.
Right?
That's easier.
You know?
That's easier.
And we're gonna say woman. We're not gonna talk on the young. Nah, this is big people talk, right? So we have the single woman, right? We have the woman in a relationship, and we have the married woman.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we could do that.
We just put them in different environments. Because
men, y'all should be happy that y'all are not as complex. We sat here and we said we're going to talk about women, and then after we realized, shit, we cannot, because women are so complicated. And I am proud about that too, because we have a lot of emotions to share. But at the same time,
well, you have a real hard job, boy, men.
I'm so sorry, men, that you have to deal with us, because we are tough. I, as a woman, I can't believe that we're that extensive. I'm sitting here and I just can't believe it.
What I would say is that, yes, we could put them in situations and environments, but it all comes down to accountability. That's the only level factor we can use in going in depth with a woman. It's like her level of accountability with herself.
Well, you know, a lot of women don't like to take accountability.
There you go. And that is the ones who don't take accountability is the one with unrealistic expectations. And you see that in the single woman. You also see that with a woman in a relationship. And you definitely see that in a woman.
It's huge in a woman when she's married. It's
the
huge.
Expectations all of a sudden just gets out of the door, out of the roof, out of this universe. And then the husband is like, how did I get here?
How does it happen? Yeah.
So you want to dismantle or you want to build up?
All right. So we're going to... I feel like we could have even started at teenage too, you know, because the teenage young woman mind is all over the place.
All right, so welcome to the group. Come, teenagers. Come. You don't want to go.
So,
you know, like when we used to hear Bold and Beautiful singing, the theme song playing, and you know to go in your bed, you can come back. Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of teenagers today are very much aware of relationships, and a lot of teenagers think like it is so important to have a relationship at a young age. Listen to me, young ladies. Please. It is not the end of the world if you are 13, between the ages of 13 to 18, and that boy does not love you. Did you hear what I said, that boy? Because he is not a man. He is not a man.
Can't do nothing for you.
You see what you're doing now as a teenager? If you are building a mindset where you are attached so much to this... No. It's serious. If you are building a mindset and an emotion to be so attached to this one boy, who, by the way, does not have the same feelings you have, as much as you want to believe under the sun.
No matter how much roses and chocolate he buy you and how much I love you he send you,
the feelings are never going to be the same, because how women feel and men feel, where our emotions are, where love is concerned, it's very different. Not saying that they don't have feelings, that is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they express it, their level of intensity. Yours is quite up here, his one's still here.
Yeah.
Okay, your expectations gone quite here, he is still here. He's like, what did I get in maths? You are thinking, but I wonder what dress I'm going to wear. And is he going to take me to,
not what did I get
my graduation, and what outfit I'm going to look at, and how my hair going to look, and what pictures we going to take, and we're going to live out happily ever after. He just still on maths. He's just
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you're speeding in your mind of what the reality is. And the reality is, teenage young lady, you are still a child.
And I feel like that's where the unrealistic expectations
Begin.
It roots in there.
It begins at the teenage stage because you
Yeah.
cannot separate fantasy and reality. And I really, as we are entering this age with social media, and so many of you are so attached to this device, and you believe that
right.
everything you see here and this instant gratification you get is exactly how it's going to be in relationships. I need for you to find a way to learn how to detach yourself from that. When you listen to something that may seem like, oh my gosh, this is a fairy tale, this is my life, this is what I want, if I don't get this, I don't want it, that kind of attitude, that kind of mindset, please just take it with a pinch of salt, because a lot of things on social media is for entertainment. Yes, there are some things that are real, they're raw, they connect with you, but any couple that you're watching on social media that has that kind of dynamic, let's just say, for example, my husband and myself, and you say, okay, you love how we are playful, you love all these different things, please understand that it comes with a lot of challenges, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of compromise, and you're not ready for that just yet.
Yes.
Okay? No.
So we put the cap on the teenagers, right? Or let's slow all your roll.
Just study your schoolwork.
Right.
Figure out what you want to do in life. Trust me, when you get older, you're still trying to figure it out, but still figure it out.
And you see that heartbreak, you will get over it.
Yes.
Because that boy cannot do nothing for you, right? Seal cap.
Now we're looking at the fact of a young lady who has all of these emotions as a teenager.
Oh, no.
Now she takes all of that and say, let's go into my young adult.
I have my backpacking already.
Literally.
Oh, no.
She's still single.
Oh, God. Why look at me?
Because you're the only single one here. She's still single.
Okay. So the thing is that accountability again. So yes, I would have had relationships in the past, but you have to, like Anita said, pick the sense out of nonsense. The individuals that would have been around at that time and that stage of my life, they did not serve any purpose, whatever purpose I was going towards.
None.
Now, I could list out everything I want in a man. The reality is that I am not going to find everything on that list.
Jesus said, come back yet.
No. You at some point in time have to hold yourself accountable and not drag the person that you're with just because you want to be in a relationship. And why that accountability is so important is because, you see, resentment is a dangerous thing. So my accountability would be like, okay, I'm not going to make it ugly. I'm going to sit down and have a conversation and give this person and myself a fighting chance. And if it didn't work, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Can you find someone else? Absolutely. But the point is that you have to be accountable and understand, are you ready to be in the space to entertain someone mentally, emotionally? You don't want to just jump into something and then...
Now, this is what you just said there. This is what caused a lot of single women to be very bitter.
There you go. So again, that resentment, you just want to be with somebody to the point where it's like, okay, you have somebody. No. Oh gosh. And then what will happen? You pick up this thing and you get caught in the other couples that you see.
Yes.
And you're expecting this in the new relationship that you come into. And if they don't come to you proper, you ain't want it. Now, nothing wrong with having your standards and everything, but it has to be, like I said, realistic. Make your list, yes, of all the things that you want in a man, but understand that you're not going to get every single thing on that list. And don't just jump into a relationship just because you're feeling lonely. If you're feeling lonely, that is where accountability has to check in 100% with yourself. Because if you enter that relationship, sis, he can't fix you. Just how you are not Barbara the Builder, he's not Bob the Builder. Don't go and stress nobody boy children out. Especially the man and them. Leave the man and them alone for me to find.
No, I really want to add to that, because a woman has to give permission for anything to happen.
Absolutely.
When you single ladies, you go into a relationship, you want to start something with someone, God gave you eyes in front of your face for a reason. So you can see it. Black is black, white is white. you need to understand that if you want to go into a relationship and you have not dealt with your own
Absolutely.
traumas, you are going to attach yourself to exactly what you do not want.
You ever hear this saying, you attract what you are? It's a lot of people like to make a joke about it, or you attract what you fear, and they're like, oh my God, I'm afraid of $1 million, and you think it's going to come. It doesn't work like that.
I really wish that would happen.
I wish it would happen to me like that, because I'm scared of $1 billion right now. You know? But when you're making that list for the type of man that you want, ask yourself, am I this list? That's the accountability I'm talking about.
Wow.
So if you, single woman, are not the list that you created, how do you expect to be prepared for that man?
Wow.
That's why I say leave the people, them boy children alone if you know you are not that list. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I expect my man to be perfect? No. But am I going to hold myself accountable to prepare myself for that man to flourish and for me to pour into him? Because nobody coming 50-50 here. Is he coming 100? I come in 100. On days when he's 70, I could pour into him. On days when I am 25, he could pour into me. And put a lecture in my pocket too. And I stack. Just because, you know. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's the accountability I'm talking about. You can't expect to deserve this man. And I deserve a good man. But are you
a good woman?
A good woman?
Yeah.
Now, a good woman could look different on every single person. That's why I said create the list. Because your list is different to my list. But create the list of the man that you want. And then ask yourself, am I this person? Am I loyal? Am I hardworking? Am I driven? Am I a woman of God? Am I a...
Wow.
Everything that you say, he must be a this, a that, a that, a that. Are you?
Correct. And if you don't check off those boxes,
sis,
do not expect anything else when it is that you get into a relationship with someone that disappoints you.
And they're stressing you out.
Because the fact is, just as much as you as a single woman recognize that you are meeting up manicu all the time, when the time comes for a man to meet you up, he will get rid of you just like how a man, you will get rid of a manicu.
Absolutely.
Just how you would want to get rid of a manicu.
And a lot of women not willing to understand that or take accountability for it.
We are human beings. What we need to stop doing as women is separating it like they are not humans too. Yeah. They feel just like we feel. They have expectations just like we have expectations. Yeah. They will have standards just like we have standards. So don't get mad if a man turns and say, well, here what? I have a standard of X, Y, and Z, and you look to say, but a man could do it, why I can't do it? Yeah. Yo, yeah. It's a standard. At the end of the day, there's no excuses. His standard is his standard. They may have a man that will accept it. They may have. Yes. Would he be what your list calls for? Probably not, or absolutely not. But it is the reality of what you are living because of your choices. And let's not get our panties in a bunch, ladies. Yes, there are men that have unrealistic expectations for women as well, and they would make their mental list because you know they ain't writing it down. Them just making their mental list. And they just go with the flow. Most of the times they are not the male version of that list. We're not talking about those men. We are talking about the men that you want. Correct. Are you prepared for that type of human in your life? And this is the prepared now. We're going straight into we taking we backpack because we taking from what we deal with in teenage. We taking it into then we taking it. So the relationship part now, right? You find the man where you want to settle a little bit with. But most times, most women are not accountable, so they take the baggage with them into the relationship. Girl, listen, not most times. I want to say it for all of we. We don't like that word accountability. I struggled with accountability in my marriage. And when we get to the marriage talk, I'll talk about that. But I struggled so much because I felt so embarrassed to tell myself, Kenita, you were wrong. I mean, just as it has male ego, females, we have it as well. And I cannot tell you where that stemmed from other than the high expectation that has been put on me from a little person to a young adult. I really think as women, we need to stop doing that to our girl children,
Right.
putting these high level of expectations. And then when a woman gets into the real world and realizes that, oh my goodness, this is not how it is. I can't just say what I want.
Yeah.
I can't act however I want. I can't just think that a man is supposed to do certain things. A man ain't supposed to do nothing. He ain't supposed to do nothing. If he choose not to do that for you, that is his choice. And he's right by his choice. Just like how if you choose not to do that for him, is your choice. And I walked into my relationship with a mindset of he have to.
Right. And that's kind of a scary place.
This is why I'm saying that you have to work on yourself before you decide you want to be in a strong, solid relationship.
And again, because we need to repeat it over and over, we are not talking about the men that are manicures. We are talking about the men.
We are not talking about no manicure here. Manicure not even supposed to exist in our language.
Right. So
leave
here,
them, let them be.
The relationships that we are talking about.
We talking about man.
Yes.
And we talking about
the
man who have the little feminine energy.
Yes.
Like mama's boys.
The knit glove man.
Yes, which we wish we had plenty of them men on the earth. But in real few supply. You can't really find a man easy, so that in touch with his emotions. Yeah, it's real
very rare. So we're talking about those two. We're not talking about the manicure. No. You need to throw them away and let them go to Slovakia and know something, grow some thick skin and come back.
As we're moving into the relationship talk here, some single women can only get a manicure.
Again, the accountability needs to be there.
No. It have nothing to do with accountability. Why I say that is because of their choices.
Again, accountability.
Particularly, well, I guess we can put it off as that.
Yeah, it's accountability. Because at the end of the day, if you don't change, that's the key word, change. Just how you want the man that you deserve, if you don't change your ways, your dirty ways, and become the list that you have created, you cannot and you will not deserve that person in your life.
Never.
Because at the end of the day, it's a person that you're asking to be a part of your life and to live with you and to be with you.
I don't even think you'll attract women
in your circle
with that type of energy. It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen.
Where that is concerned, we can slip this in here where female best friends are concerned. You will not be able to hold a proper female friend in your life if you don't hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. I can literally count it on one hand.
That's why your mother gave you sisters, ma'am. Okay?
The Lord gave me that. The
Lord gave us sisters, and that is
because
our
he knew how the world is.
Yes.
Now let's go into you're in a relationship for maybe 2 years, 3 years going in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm gonna drop a scenario.
Drop your scenario.
So we're gonna drop a scenario here. This is for the relationships, right?
Okay.
Good. Because it comes up all the time, and I think this is the number one challenge in society right now. Because us women, most of us, are not talking to you who don't want it. You woman who don't want it is not you are talking to.
Right.
I am only talking to the woman who in a serious relationship that want this.
Right.
You are a unicorn.
Right.
Okay? 99.9% of us want to get married.
Yes.
So hence we get into a relationship
in the
hopes of getting married. Mm-hmm. We get into the relationship so strong to the point that we move in with our partner.
Yeah, hoping that
something's going to happen, right? And then we end up either 7, 15, 20 years not married, with children, and still hoping to get a ring on our finger.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the cause of that?
I don't know, and that's a new situation. I plead the fifth.
I'll tell you what's the cause. I will tell you because
my hands up.
She refused to answer.
I refuse to answer, Judge.
You don't want to answer?
I plead the fifth.
I can tell you what's the problem with that. The same thing that you took on through your teenage years into your young adult life, into where you're at right now, where you're in that relationship with that man, those behavioral patterns that you refuse to change, those things that you don't want to take accountability for. No, I'm talking to you very, very openly here. Those things is what causes him to second guess taking the next step. There are some men, yes, some men who overcomplicate everything in their mind, and they want to have the perfect house, the perfect setting, the perfect this, the perfect that.
We're not talking about those situations.
I'm not talking about those situations.
Okay.
I'm talking about the situations where
he is still second guessing.
He's still second guessing this relationship. So whenever you guys sit down and you talk about when we're going to get married, he cannot give you an answer.
Yeah.
And why he cannot give you an answer is because there are behavioral traits that you need to work on.
And why do you think he stays?
Because there are two dangerous things he does. Is either he stays because of the kids, or he stays because at the end of the day, he's worked so hard to build what he has. And he rather put himself through this unhappiness just for the sake of the children. And then one day he might check the time and check the date, and then realize, wow, it's been how much years?
And then he just might decide.
Can I imagine the next 10 years of my life or 5 years of my life keeping up with this? And he would either one, walk away, or in most cases, he stays and he's contented, or the woman walks away because now you both just separate in this relationship. Same thing does happen somewhat in marriage, but there's a big difference when you get into a relationship and you don't center that relationship around God. And there's so many times that when we think about relationships, we like to exclude God from everything. I highly suggest that if you want a successful relationship, you have to put him there. If you don't want to believe me, try it and you go see. Okay. You just go ahead. You just run straight, toro. Charge. You just charge. I promise you, you're going to bump your head real hard. You need to focus on God. So if you know that you really want a successful relationship, you're living with this man, all these things, and you know there are things that you need to work on, you need to definitely sit within yourself and make some adjustments. Like Khalees was talking about throughout, accountability. Yes, he does need to take accountability as well, but change starts with one person at a time. So if you start working on yourself and he's seeing that, okay, there's a normal pattern. You know, men learn our patterns real quick. So they already know when an argument is about to start without even...
But I know when an argument is going to start too.
No, ladies, we different. Most of us. Not you. You're a unicorn. You just want to just like to stay quiet. It have plenty of us. We just like to...
So I can't... Honestly, I don't want to make it sound like I'm a... You know, the young people is called it a pick-me girl. I don't want to make it sound like that, but I am possibly one of the rare females.
She don't...
I don't have the energy and time to argue.
I have the energy.
She does argue, like proper argue.
Energy. I have the energy. Give it to me.
I would move from the area. I would say, I can't do it right now. I just don't want to talk about it right now. And mainly it's because I love the person that is talking to me, but you see their voice at this point in time? It's like scratching a chalkboard with a fork. That's how it feels.
I can tell you, that's how your husband, your boyfriend would feel, because we're still talking about just relationships here. You're not married as yet. That's how he would feel when it is that
I'm a man?
Clearly, where's your genitals? But truly, there is something that you're doing. If he has not disclosed to you that, babe, the reason why we're not married yet is because I just really don't want to feel like... Because if you are a woman and you are really bringing that feminine energy into your relationship all the time, by the way, woman and man have masculine and feminine energy, so both of we could switch. But
I feel like if the man will never even tell his woman that.
No, he would. Now, here's how beautiful things are when a woman steps in to her accountability based on her behavior patterns, and she recognizes her triggers, she recognizes all of her emotions, she knows how to assess things before answering, and anytime there's an argument and she realizes that, okay, I am actually crossing a boundary that we said we wasn't going to do. Because by the way, in a relationship, you need to set boundaries in your relationship. Yeah. If you do not set boundaries in your relationship, it ain't gonna work. If she can notice all of these things, a man is recognizing that.
Yeah.
And he is going to make efforts on his end to balance that in the relationship. So what does that look like? If in the beginning, when you weren't working on yourself, he would not know when you want a little attention. Bet my husband does know every time I want attention. Every time. He knows that now. In the beginning of our relationship, because I was always he would never know. He would never know because he's withdrawing. He's going to withdraw.
Right.
So
he's not paying attention.
He would never pay attention because, I mean, come on, you're doing too much.
You know what I read somewhere?
Oh my goodness.
This is really exciting when I read it. That women, gosh, we can't let the men know this.
Well, we hope that not many of them are going to hear it.
Yeah, let me just put the energy out there that the men are not here.
They are going to be here.
So behind every powerful man, or behind most men, women have been the instrument behind their successes and their failures.
Yes.
From kingdoms to today's what we will call parliaments or the woman behind it. And we just need to learn how to find strength in our femininity. And most of the times that comes from our discernment and our quiet time. Just how we position ourselves, we can get exactly what we want out of men.
She's not saying manipulate the man.
Yes, it's a very different thing.
Because there are some women who manipulated their men
but that's why I said that
things.
A woman, and you can see it in history, a woman's influence on a man
is very powerful.
Is extremely powerful to the point of their downfall or their rise.
So
what you're saying there is absolutely correct in terms of how you want, because I'm sure you would have at some point in time want Anna to recognize.
Oh yes,
when you want certain things.
Of course.
Most women today, they want their man to recognize.
Now get this. Now this is the confusing thing in our heads as women. When we get together into the relationship and we start the court, he's doing everything right.
Okay, obviously.
Everything is right. But when you get into a relationship where you all are living under the same roof, come see me, come live with me, is two different things.
Right.
This is where challenges start to set in. And this is why I'm stating that without God there, you're not going to be successful, because you have to understand what is your quality of a woman to add value to your man.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest things, which is reserved for marriage, is learning how to submit to your husband.
Which is strength, and a lot of women think that submission
there is
means
strength.
weakness.
There's so much strength. This is why women of that era were powerful, were those type of women.
Yeah.
Because there are some women, unfortunately, that did not, experience it like that. But once you as a woman understood how to position yourself correctly in the relationship, in the marriage, in the household, you will find now you have a man that comes to ask you everything. He will even come to ask you what underwear to put on.
Again, the decision making. You have the power to lead this man into disaster or to success.
Correct.
And also, it is very important. The men could come back now. In what type of woman that you pick up, or what type of woman that you call your wife, because she will literally be the bane of your existence or the bliss of your existence.
Correct. And I think a man who has a strong masculine energy, he can pick up when this woman is tearing me down versus lifting me up. He can sense it very quickly. Hence the reason why you will not get him to be as serious with you, and you will notice that his energy shifts very quickly from having you as a friend to all of a sudden you find out he get married.
Well, as we are heading into the direction of marriages now, I think I'm going to say it for you and break it down for you further when Kenita says God in your marriage or God in your relationship. I'm going to just use it in terms of God in your life. When conflict happens, and if God is there, you are able to hear his voice, and he's going to tell you, yo, step back, hold yourself accountable. You know what you did wrong. Man and the woman, both married persons, when they get into conflict, when God is there, they view it as we have a problem. Not I have a problem with her, or she has a problem with me. It's like, okay, this is the problem. It's us against this problem.
Yeah.
When you hear Kenita saying God needs to be the center of, it's because that is what keeps you center as a human being.
I could just tell you, to be quite honest, and you might be in this situation, whether you're in a relationship that, you're waiting to get married and you just don't know why it's not happening, or you actually are married and you can't seem to understand why conflict happens and you all can't communicate well, it still comes back to accountability. If you cannot recognize your behavior patterns, if you cannot take accountability for a behavior that you are continuously doing regularly, because you get a trigger here, this is the outcome, and the cycle just keeps continuing, how you want God to help you flourish? It just can't work.
At some point in time, and you know when you're doing it. At some point in time,
all of us women know when we do things.
Yeah, you have to know when you're being a nag. You know when you're doing it. You know when you're being unreasonable.
And a lot of us do provoke our men on purpose. So
Kenita takes front center stage.
I going on the honest. Okay? If you are like me and you are a passive aggressive woman, you are provoking your man like this.
Oh gosh.
Let's role play it. Just pretend like I left this here.
Okay.
I did my thing and I left it.
It's always cup all over the place. You always even cup all over the place.
Really?
Yeah.
Cup. Yet you have your drawers on the ground.
Oh gosh,
you have this going in the bathroom here. It's okay. I just have a maid in this house, I just have to get up and pick up after you and do everything. And then you tell me something again. And then after you tell me something again, yeah, man, let me just go and wash the wares. Let me go and pick up the cups. And then everything just had to, you just put it down hard.
Yeah.
Like hard. You know what I'm talking about, married woman. You put it down hard. Like if you are like me and you're passive aggressive. Because truly, when I recognize that my personality, my emotions, I couldn't control my emotions, and I used to lash out. Like I wanted to throw things, I wanted to hit him, and then I realized, I need to work on this, because if I don't work on this, I'm gonna lose my man. And the listener, you understand? I made a list, just like okay, to talk about lists. I make a list. What are the good qualities of Anil? What are the bad qualities of Anil? Okay, looked at my list. He don't listen. He impatient. He's withdraw from me. That is it. That is the bad. Yeah. There's nothing else. I was like, okay.
But the thing about it is that those three things is cause and effect.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that could go both ways.
So the accountability would be like, okay, why is he withdrawing? No. So the best thing to do is ask.
No, I had to ask myself why I used to cause that to happen. But I am just telling you all the behavior traits that I had, the things I would do, and I never recognized it as something that was causing conflict in my relationship. I just look at this as, that's how I am.
Yeah.
This is me.
Now,
it's either you take it or you leave it.
Now, I would say holding accountability in terms of your anger issues or your flare-ups or your passive aggressiveness and locking it down.
Like, for example, just the other day, and this is how far I've come. Just the other day, I was doing something we were doing in the car. We were making arrangements for something. And the phone was on speaker. Right. Yes, and I was giving directions. But we women, we're not good at directions. We are horrible with directions. But the phone is on speaker. The gentleman is speaking to me. Anil is listening. This would have triggered me to off. When I tell you, in the past, what? Bacchanal. He takes the phone. While the phone is in my hand, he takes the phone from my hand. He's driving. He takes it from my hand. And then he's like, I don't know why she's making this thing so complicated, Now, first trigger point.
You know what a woman would say? A typical woman would
say? Wait. He trying to embarrass me.
Yes, so that's it there. He's always embarrassing me. And you shouldn't embarrass your wife like that. First of all.
As soon as he took the phone and he said that, the gentleman started to laugh because he clearly was freaking confused.
Yeah.
He was confused. And luckily, it have a man there that can kind of get it balanced because he can't understand what is going on. Not even ways can help him. Yeah. So he started to chuckle. Because what Anil said, not because it was funny, but it's because, brother.
It's true.
Brother, I was freaking lost. In Anil explained everything to him, and then Anil hangs up the phone. Normal Kanita will be like, you didn't have to do that,
Yeah, and then you grab the phone from him.
And then you grab the phone
on the phone.
You know what Kanita did? Kanita talked to Kanita, little Kanita inside. What am I feeling right now? And then I immediately said, okay, you're feeling embarrassed. Why are you feeling embarrassed? Because he told the guy that how are confusing him.
Then you ask yourself.
Then I asked the next question.
Was I
really confusing him or not?
And then the kid will say, yes, you were confusing him.
And I let it die right there.
Yes.
It died. It was dead.
Yes.
I had nothing to say because while he was talking to the man, I done already deal with my emotions.
Yes.
Simmer myself down and realize, girl, you was wrong. Let's put it in the if we put it into the reverse. Now, if we put it into the reverse now,
a man is talking to a woman. And he trying to explain to this woman where to find a certain thing in a store. And you, the woman, know
exactly how to find it.
He trying to explain. But the woman that he's talking to is like, I don't understand what you're trying to say. You grab the phone. I don't know why this man complicated. Girl, just go on aisle number 3 and you'll see it.
You know a man wouldn't take no offense to that, right?
They won't.
A real man.
They won't.
A real man in touch with his masculine energy is not going to be offended.
So again, I can feel in your gut right now, woman, that you're like, nah, she wrong. He didn't have to do that. He still didn't have to do that. Don't take life so seriously.
It's not that serious, no.
It's like you need to be able to leave room for fun, to leave room. Remember, this is also, this is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. The person you are spending the rest of your life with. This is your confidant, your best friend. When you're with your best friends, and you just heckle them and make little fun of them. And oh gosh, girl, is a joke.
Now think about it. If it was you and I in that scenario,
man, I clung and
we clung at each other.
Proper.
100%.
And you know what? I not learn and forget it.
And half of the time it might be Cassie on the phone.
Yeah. And he's real, give it to Cassie.
And then Cassie might be the one getting it from both of us.
Yeah, boy.
But my thing is, why is it okay for us to be normal? And I use the word normal because I wanted to comprehend what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why is it okay? We could do that with our siblings. We could do that with our best friends. But when it comes to our man,
they must be.
Like, he's not a robot. He ain't freaking AI. A real human experience comes with mistakes. A real human experience does not always check in with your emotions before they say something.
Yeah.
If you are triggered by something that offends you, you need to just tell your person. Nothing wrong. Like, okay, if that really did offend me to the point that I felt really emotionally shattered,
you will have a space.
I will now have a space because I've created that free space in my relationship. We have set boundaries in our relationship. I have a space now that I can go to and say, babe, you know, today when so and so was happening, this is how I felt. Not this is how you make me feel. And I was Talk about what you felt.
Yeah.
And then he can now recognize that, okay, there's certain triggers that are affecting your trauma.
Or there's certain jokes I can and cannot
make with you.
So for Kenita, that was a joke. For another person, embarrassment in that form, even though it's a joke or it's very light, it's hurtful or harmful to that individual. Yes. You as a person needs to hold accountability for your emotions to be able to present it that way. In a healthy way. So not just your partner, you know, it could be a mother, it could be a sister, it could be a best friend, it could be a father.
But I only got to this place because I have recognized that I had work to do on me. And you cannot come out of that place and have people. You see, I personally don't think, woman, you want your man to be walking on eggshells around you. I think that you really want him to be comfortable. You want him to love being around you. And he cannot let down his guard and be open with you about his emotions and how he feels. Like just the other day, I was so amazed that my husband was able to let me know, I'm just feeling so pressured, I'm feeling so overwhelmed, he was able to express what he's feeling. In a space where he doesn't feel safe, he will not be able to do that. So if
they will withdraw.
Yes, they will just withdraw and stay in their head.
So what's going on with you today?
Nothing.
I just like a lot going on.
No, he's not gonna wanna tell you nothing.
And then you know what you go say? Probably find the next girl. He holding me. He phone right through.
Understand?
And then you end up to pick a fight. So why you on that phone right through so? This time you playing game, you know?
Yeah.
You playing game.
Because he in his head. So if you want to be closer to
Subway servers.
I feel like I need to do a whole YouTube talk on how to be closer to your husband. How to get closer to your husband. Like plain talk, bad manners kind of conversation. Yeah. Because really and truly, us women, we are complicated. But we forget that our men, they do have some sort of complex emotions. but it's not as much as us. And we just have to give them a little bit of wiggle room.
And vice versa. Give them a little grace.
I think men give us grace, but we don't give our men grace.
Yeah, because again, the unrealistic expectations of what he's supposed to do and he should know.
But he's just human.
Yeah, he's just human.
Just ask yourself a simple question. The person that I'm with today, do I really want to be with them? Do I really want to have a long-lasting relationship with them? And if the answer is yes, put in the work. Have the patience. Understand that this person grew up in a different house than you. If you both grew up under the same roof, everything will be perfect. But that's not how life is.
Yeah, you come from two different backgrounds, two different palettes. It's like asking somebody who can only see in black and white to see through a kaleidoscope.
Of colors.
Of colors, yeah. It's very different. So you have to be open. Again, it all boils down to accountability.
God is good.
All the time.